This episode of Noonish is brought to you by JW Group. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. High Energy Models and Events. Tech for Troops, T4T, baby. Verve Performance Labs. The original shot sock, not without my shot socks. And Specs Wine Spirits and the Finer Foods.
You are live.
What's up, everybody? Oh, I gotta give a little props to that 88 one time. You see what it is. Back, man. You saw it. You saw the first down call right there, MC. Yeah, I had to bring it in, right? Had to bring it in proper, like that boy CD Lamb. First down. Let's go, man. Hey, happy to be back in the building on another Wednesday around noon. It is Noonish Live. I'm your host, J.A. Jonathan Anderson. I forgot the AKA, but yeah, coming at you live, man. Super stoked about this episode. Got a great guest coming at you today. But first, let me go ahead and introduce our awesome co-host, starting with the one and only El Grande Toro, Jonas Bull in the house.
Which I found my awesome awesome headgear.
You found it?
Well, my wife found it.
Nice. Hey, so we got the
wife.
Yeah.
Things.
Switching them out.
Like your headgear.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And you know who it is, man. It is half man, half amazing, always on time,
right.
Mr. 1-2
right.
Bayou.
Puts
Sticky.
in
No sticky, no sticky hands.
That's right.
Hey, Mr. MC Mark Clayton in the building, man, coming at you for another one. Coming at you. We got some stuff to talk about today. There was some craziness that went on in your world last week. I'm so glad you made it today because I know you were shook last week, but we'll get to that.
Two body blows.
Body blow. We'll get to it. And man, a very special guest, man, a good friend of mine, the Mr. Greg Matthews in the building, man. Oh, he's got the Dodger blue on. It looks real good too, bro.
Gotta be sporting the Dodgers stuff.
Hey, man, hey, y'all had a heartbreaking loss this year too. I say y'all, but it's almost like a week because that's one team I love and respect to the fullest, is the Dodgers.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I thought they were gonna win another one back to back.
It just goes to show that I have followed the Dodgers since '75.
Yep.
And I'm just not a bandwagon guy. We just injuries and man, they just can't seem to pull it off in the postseason.
Man, at least this year, right?
Yeah,
In the year the guys were cheating, I told. When Matt Kemp was on the show, I was like, basically, y'all won 17 and 18 because we found out the guys were cheating against you guys. You know what I mean? So
I usually wear a plastic gaudy ring just to honor the Astros win the World Series. That's about
we don't speak of that squad over here, man. That's a despicable team.
Yeah.
I'm glad they took that L this year.
I'm glad they won, but they lost.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, but the Braves winning wasn't a bad thing this year.
It wasn't.
And that was a great series with the Dodgers. That was a great series with the Dodgers.
I was even quoting, I said, the Braves look better than the Dodgers this year. They deserve to win it.
And they won it without two of their stars.
Right, exactly.
Without Ozuna and without Acuna, the guy that was in the home run race this year.
Did we ever actually?
Yeah.
Did we ever actually introduce our special guest?
Yeah. This is the man right here.
Did we just dive right into Dodgers versus Astros?
Yeah, no, man. So we gotta come to you, bro. So you've written an awesome book, right? And I haven't had the pleasure of reading it, but I heard it was awesome from all the reviews.
Most men don't read,
right? Unless it's that audio book or somebody the Cliff Notes,
exactly.
right?
The Cliff Notes.
Put it in the bathroom. I might read it in a week, but no, man. So. Can you kind of tell me about what inspired you to write that book and kind of tell everybody about this crazy story of yours, bro?
What's the name of the book, first of all? It's pretty helpful.
The book is called Wild Awakening.
Wild Awakening, man.
And we were talking about dad stuff before we went on the air, and there was a lot of changes that took place. Jonah, him and I have some similar upbringings and some similar things going on with our dads, and that was definitely me, overachiever.
Yep.
And so I missed out on a lot of things in life because I was chasing the wrong things.
Yeah.
And so it definitely changed me a lot. You just want me to jump into it?
I mean, chasing the wrong things is probably, like 99.9% of all men Right, it's a very select few that mature early enough. Yeah, of all people. But specific, like man, for dang sure, we mature a lot later, right?
Well, yeah, I think it'd be worthwhile to mention at least some of the history leading up to the Wild Awakening.
Absolutely,
because I think that trajectory, as we discussed previously, what is a part of some pieces of that are going to overlap with a lot of people's life experience. Life experience.
Yeah.
So I originally started writing the book because of the fact that when I got back I was attacked by a grizzly, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
I really
Spoiler
couldn't
alert.
get anybody that I thought really understood, and so after the family would go to bed, I would lock myself in my office and literally just start typing, not intending to write a book. Just there's something about either writing or typing stuff and getting it out.
Yes.
There is power in that. And there were times where I found myself 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sweating, and I'm looking at the wall, and I have no idea. It was just so overwhelming at that point that I really had no idea where I was. I mean, it was PTSD, call it whatever you want, but that was the original intent of writing the book.
Yeah. Now, when did you realize you were writing a book?
When my wife came up with the title, Slow Human, Fast Bear.
Title. Really good.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
You know, I'm going to be interjecting some comic relief because some of the stuff, it just, people would just be like.
Yeah, no, when you told me what happened, like, because I was completely clueless to it all.
Right.
And when you told me what happened, like I'm talking for the next few days, I was just like, what? Like, you serious? Incredible story. But, I want to go into the story.
Right.
Like, how and what the hell happened that day, right?
So going back to what Jonah was saying is there has to be some premise information in order to kind of weave this together.
Yeah.
So I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. When I was accepted the Lord in high school, I kind of mirrored it with my dad, and my dad ended up leaving early in my life.
Yes.
And I never told him anything, but it deeply impacted me. And I was dead set, just like Jonah, of proving to the world and to my dad that I was worth loving, and that I had that I could be a man with qualities and character and integrity and achieve stuff. And so after my dad left and I accepted the Lord, I kept my dad's at arm's length. And so with that, I went on my pursuit of trying to accomplish in my life. It's an embarrassing laundry list, but so I was a firefighter for 21 years. I rescue company, truck company, engine company, aid car, medic unit. Worked at the World Trade Center for 3.5 weeks after the attack.
Wow.
What
was that experience like? That's a story in itself.
Yeah, that's a whole. That changed the trajectory. That was the paradigm shift to leave the fire service and then go and doing what I do now, anti-terrorism and counterterrorism. I never wanted to respond to something like that again. I wanted to stop. And my dad was already doing it.
Yeah.
He was working for NCIS, and so ended up doing that in city of San Diego. I worked for the Admiral for Navy Region Southwest. I was an anti-terrorism officer there. Now I secure dams and hydropower generation plants and locks here in Texas and Oklahoma for U.S. Army Corps. So all of those different things. I started a national emergency service system in Uganda, up on the border of Sudan and the Congo.
Nice.
It is bad. Yeah, so you had at that point the Lord's Resistance Army, Joseph Kony, and the Night Walkers, which all kinds of different stuff. Oh, you have been to Gulu? Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Sorote and Gulu, and it's legitimately dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's the real hood. Like the hood here has nothing on the hood, the jungle, whatever you want to call it in Africa.
So all of these things, like I was asking Jonah, I mean, it was the first thing in my mind was, if I accomplish this, is my dad going to be proud of me? And I question whether or not with him leaving, whether he loved me. I mean, I just, as an 8-year-old boy, you're going to create a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
But that whole thing was, that was my whole adult lifehood. Pursue. To the point where I didn't want to have kids because I didn't want to bring danger or harm or anything like that from how I act or anything. I just had no idea what. I knew I came from my dad. I knew I was significantly hurt, and I just didn't want to bring that on to my sons or daughters.
You want some Born Identity type, just out there just
right?
solving stuff.
So, bottom line, fast forward to 2015 in the fall, my brother and I are living out a dream we've always had of testing our skills that my dad taught us, hunting moose. I was hunting with a bow in remote Alaska.
Oh, nice.
And so we're 4 days into a 10-day hunt. We're about 18 miles in by boat and 2 miles packed in. Luckily, I brought a rifle. My brother had a rifle. But we were out. That's how he feeds his family. He's got 5 kids, so it's moose and caribou, bear, whatever. Wow. And so,
and can I say that I respect bow hunting, like to no end. Like that's real deal hunting,
right?
Right, because the animal has a chance to then come back and react. So you got to keep going at that bad boy.
And you've got to get close. You've got to get closer than that.
Yeah.
Now, if you could just get. I've been after Joe Rogan and Adam Greentree to get me on there because they love talking about bear attacks. So
yeah.
Anyway, but I'd much rather be here right now with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I see some movement. I'm fully camoed up. We're 2 miles up. My brother's about 50 yards behind me. I catch some movement out of and I'm thinking, oh, and I can feel my heart rate go up.
Yeah.
I'm starting to breathe heavier. Connect my release up to the bow.
Have you done any hunting?
No.
Have you done any hunting?
Like
that's a
duck
special
hunt
feeling.
It's a rush, especially
when it's like know it's just about to happen.
Right.
The video game, The Buck in the arcades. That Buck.
Yep.
I've done that one. Yeah. Oregon Trail did that.
And when you're talking about something that's anywhere from like 900 to 1,200 pounds,
yeah.
I mean that is, and they move.
Yeah.
They move.
I'll watch.
They move stuff like a ninja too. It's slow.
That's crazy.
All you catch is like a flicker of an ear, and I'm sure that's it's not what I caught. I caught some movement. What? So I went back, swung, and when I looked, there was a 8.5 foot, 650-pound grizzly with its nose in the air, standing on its back legs.
So he was hunting you, and you thought you were hunting
swinging
him.
like this, sniffing the air.
Wow.
I felt all the blood rush out of my face. I'm serious. No, it was. You know what? You know those moments where, like in school, where you get caught for something, and you just get that dump of like your blood pressure, like you're gonna faint.
Yeah.
There is no heroism going on at this point at all.
You can't back out of that situation.
No.
It was just
like I'm in it right
exactly.
now.
So it's about 35 yards, basically at the confluence of these two trails. One would bring a broadside shot to me, and that's the one I wanted. The other one circled back to my brother. So my first thought is run.
So there were two.
Two what?
2 bears.
Well, there were actually that big bear and then 2 bears just about the size of Mama Bear too.
Because oh my gosh!
When we called them in, because we were making calls, basically the biologist said that she was training those bears to hunt.
So y'all were.
So she thought you were a moose.
She thought we were a moose, exactly. And so she was sniffing and doing her thing. And at that point, I thought about running. That's a bad idea. Then there's a big log in front of me. I thought about stuffing myself down there and hiding. But the fact is that it smelled me all the way to here and heard it. And then plus, if it took that trail, it was going to end up down at my brother. So I put the bow down. Not the best choice of weapons. I had a .357 Magnum on my hip. And then I had a 300 Win Mag rifle. So I grabbed that. Belly crawled around this tree trying to get my confidence up, hoping it would be gone when I came out from behind the tree, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Stood up on my tiptoes. I brought the rifle up, and I didn't have the wherewithal to dial it back, but I was glassing with it, so all I had was hair. So I just lowered it to my hip, flipped the safety up, got on my toes, and said, "Whoa, bear." And that bear turned, standing up. Its eyes locked on me. It dropped down to all fours. Its head started sinking down, ears went flat, a big muscle came out of the top of its head, and all the hair stood up on its back, and it started charging me.
So what went through your body at that moment in time? Do you remember?
I wish I had brought toilet paper.
Anything
No.
Out.
I can honestly say I didn't let go of anything, but I was scared.
Yeah.
I was really, really scared.
Is there anything prior to that compares to the feeling you felt that day?
When I crawled down a hole at the World Trade Center and I wasn't sure what I was going to be finding, and found the first piece of somebody.
Oh man.
That was, as I didn't know what to, until you get to that point. So I can remember that whole thing and just heavy breathing. I was hyperventilating and stuff down there, and I was.
But that wasn't like a life or death type situation, was it?
No, but it was a similar feeling. It was something that totally caught me off guard.
Yeah.
And so what I will tell you is that bear is charging, and I've read some things up on bears that there's a false charge normally with a slide. They woof, and then they'll basically take off, and they say just get out of there. Well, at about 15 feet, it wasn't stopping, and I could see it was in slow motion. Stuff's being thrown behind it as it's digging in. At about 10 feet, I realized it wasn't stopping, so I fired the rifle right in its face, and it didn't do anything. It lunged up at me with its mouth open. All I had was the rifle. I didn't have time to rack another round. I shoved the rifle forward, almost like a bayonet. It caught it somewhere in the jaw. Rifle came back and slammed me in the head, and it threw off the bear, I'm assuming, because it came at me like Zeke coming through the line. It just lowered its head and just plowed right over me, knocking me down, knocked the wind out of me. I'm trying to catch my breath, and then all of a sudden, two huge paws, about 13 or 14-inch paws, just came right down on my shoulders, pinned me to the ground, and then the first bite was to my face.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So it split my face from here, tore a tennis ball size hole in my throat.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's nuts, bro.
Yeah, so that was just the first bite. And so my face exploded in blood. I couldn't see, but I felt the rush.
Yep.
And, being in the fire department for so long, I knew that was bad. And so I felt the rush of blood. So I turned my chin to try and put pressure down. I'm not going to compress the mic here, but to put pressure on the hole in my neck. Which exposed the back of my head, and that's when the bear took my whole head in its mouth and started biting down.
So did it pick you up at that point, or
No,
was it
by
all
my
on the
head.
ground?
No, it's biting. It's basically I'm on the ground. It's got my whole head in its mouth, and it's biting down. So I'm trying to feel what's going on. I'm feeling this huge bottle nose right here, with the obviously clamped on my head, and all I could think of was just to start hitting the nose. I hit it about 4 times, and then as quickly as it grabbed my head, it grabbed my arm, bit right through my arm, lifted me up, did this violent head shake, and threw me about 10 or 12 feet away from where it.
By the one arm.
Woo!
By the one arm.
By the one arm. Yeah, it just
ragdolled
hole punched it. It went all the jaws,
Yeah.
the teeth came together, so it had a good lock on my arm, and then it basically just launched me.
The teeth came together. What do you mean?
Made it all the
Well,
way
think
through.
about. You got
The teeth, top and
Yeah.
bottom came together.
So it's about a
and they interlock. Oh
it's
my
about a 50
gosh!
cent piece hole. That's the first bite. The other one's here. So
So he had his mouth closed on your arm.
yeah,
That's
completely
just-
closed,
yeah,
locked.
look at
See the hole right
top and
there?
the bottom.
See, that's where it came through, and they're about the size of a quarter, I guess, at the base.
Yeah.
And so it locked onto my arm, lifted me up, stood up, did a violent head shake, and threw me. And that really hurt. So I decided that the only thing I could do was to get on my belly, interlace my fingers over my C-spine, spread my legs out, and keep it from getting me back on my back.
So you could still feel your arm at that
I
moment in time.
remember everything. I could feel everything.
Oh my gosh, bro. So I mean, what was next for the bear?
Well, it came over when I was on my face, couldn't see, interlaced like this, elbows spread out, legs spread out. It came over the top of me, and I could hear it breathing over me. And it reached underneath my rib cage and tried to roll me, and I got right back in position. Then it came right over the top of me and sunk its teeth down into my lat and picked me up off the ground.
Oh, my gosh,
and
bro.
then the final thing was it got over the top of my head when I got right back into position, and it felt like somebody hit me with a 2x4.
It just like punched you?
No, well, coming down on it, it sunk its claw at the top of my ear and raked down and completely degloved my scalp, exposing my spine.
So were you hollering and yelling at this time?
I was screaming like a freaking girl.
Man, I bet, bro.
Yeah, my brother said that as he was trying to make his way to me, he says it wasn't human.
The sound you
Yeah,
made?
it was. He said it sounded like a wounded animal.
Oh my gosh, bro!
Well, at that point, you pretty much are a wounded animal.
Right, exactly.
So what did your brother do to help?
We're not the end. That went on for about another 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh, bro!
So basically, once it degloved my scalp, so it's hanging off. That's when I went to the sitting position, just trying to figure out where it was. My legs hadn't been bitten yet, so I was just gonna kick it away if I had to. And then all of a sudden, I heard another growl right at the back of my head, and it attacked my head again, and released my head. And then I heard it coming around, and so I gave it a couple of kicking into the dark, and I struck it twice. And then on about the third or fourth kick, it bit down into my leg just below my knee, and then that's when I heard my brother coming up, and I heard his voice. But at this point, the bear is right in between my brother and I, and he's shooting a high-powered rifle, so he can't shoot the bear.
Yeah.
So God gave him the courage to basically run up about 4 or 5 different times, screaming at that bear and he said every time it turned, he said the bear had my leg in its mouth. Its whole head was covered with my blood. And then he would stop, and then he'd back off, and then finally he got close enough where the bear turned, dropped my leg, stood up, and tried to bite him in the face. He shot it once, and then backing up as it was coming forward, he shot it in the chest. So 3 different shots. It's still alive. He said it looked back at me, looked at him, and went into an adjacent tree line and started thrashing around. And then at that point, he came running up to me and said, "We got to get out of here. This thing is still alive." And he said my only words were, "I think I'm dying."
Good gosh, bro. Like, so, first of all, what does it take to kill a bear?
A lot more than I brought.
It took, that's 3 rifle shots.
Yeah. One in the face, one in the neck, and one in the chest.
300 mag?
300 Win Mag, and I even reloaded all of them. 200 grain Nosler partition. I mean, these were big moose rounds, so.
Bro, like, I've heard this story, like, already. And it just blew my mind again, bro. Like, I couldn't imagine being in that situation at that moment in time.
That's
right?
not even the most exciting part.
So what was the exciting part?
When Jesus showed up.
Yeah, so at what point did Jesus show up?
Well, I'll tell you, when my brother was standing over the top of me, yelling at me, telling me what to do, tell me what to do, you're not going to die. That was one of the first miracles where instant clarity, after all of that, instant clarity to fall back on what I had learned in the fire service. I had treated multiple trauma patients, hundreds, if not thousands. I just never treated myself. And so I came up with the idea, got him in front of me, because I was on all fours because the hole in my throat, if I leaned back, all the blood and everything was going down into my lungs. So I was on all fours. And I said, get in front of me, and then I'll raise up, and you describe the injuries, and then I'll show you what we need to do, or I'll figure out how we can do this. And so I raised up, and he said, "Oh my God." That's not what you say to a patient. That's really not what you say. I heard that twice. So he says, "You got a big old hole in your throat." And I said, so we were wearing these shamogs, which is kind of a special forces wrap. You know what one is. So I said, hand me one of those, and I spun it into a bandage and put it in his hand. I said, don't put pressure on both sides, because I'll just pass out and you have to end up carrying me. So he was controlling the bleeding at my throat, and I said, keep talking to me. And I heard, oh my God, again. He says, well, your scalp is hanging off. And I said, is it still attached? He said, yeah. I said, well, flop it over. And so hand me the other shamog. And I was holding pressure on my head. My brother was holding pressure on my throat. this wasn't too bad.
You're losing blood at a ridiculous rate
And
at this moment in time, right?
So it's just painful because my arm had a waveform where it had clamped down on. But this was the key stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So when at that point, God gave me a vision of my family.
Wow.
Yeah, He gave me a vision of my wife, and He gave me a vision of my daughter, my son, both my sons, and my daughter stepped out. Well, prior to that, I audibly heard God say to me, Greg, you are my son. I love you, and I'm not done with you yet.
Wow.
And when you talk about what I had at 8 years old, where dads leave, dads aren't to be really trusted and held at arm's length. Here I was completely whooped, let the bear get the drop on me.
Yeah.
And there was nothing but shame. I was just waiting to die. And God shows up and says, you're my son, I love you, and I'm not done with you yet. And then after that, He gave me the vision of my family. And even to this day, it chokes me up because I can see it clear as day. My daughter stepping out, holding out her arms, saying, Daddy, if you're going to come home to us, you got to fight.
Wow. So you had a family at this point, and that was really the only thing that kept you alive.
That was the only thing that kept me going because I still
wasn't the firefighting, wasn't the military, wasn't the accomplishments.
It was none of that stuff that I thought, because I started holding the inventory. Okay, I'm dying. It's time to do the man card check.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, so now you got a 2-mile trek and a 14-mile boat ride.
Right. And I will just tell you that.
Was this a rowboat?
No, it was a powerboat.
Okay.
But
Like,
what I
geez.
what I will tell you is what I realized in that moment is all I wanted to do was to make up for what I had been chasing and giving scraps to my family and to both my dad and the Lord.
Yeah.
Because if Greg wasn't doing awesome things, Greg wasn't okay and Greg wasn't lovable. And so Jonah and I were talking about it. There's things that we want dads, the power that dads have over their sons. When you want to accomplish, when you want to do things to make them proud, and then you overshadow it with some brokenness and some pain and some hurt, man, you get desperate for that. And so everybody paid for what Greg was accomplishing.
Yeah.
Because I'd run back, all right, here's money, you guys good? Oh yeah, I can't make that game, I can't make that performance, I got to do these things. And I'll tell you what, in an instant, all that stuff meant nothing, and I knew I had to survive to get back.
Yeah.
For my family.
And be more present.
Yes, sir.
For your family.
Absolutely.
Man, that's an incredible story and an incredible lesson to be learned, right? Because as parents, I mean, we do everything we do for our kids, like to provide for our kids and make sure they're okay. So, you know, sometimes you get lost in all the work, right? And just making sure they're okay and tend to, you know, focus more on that than on them when the focus should be on them.
Absolutely.
Right? Because they could probably care less about that. And they just want you to read a book to them or, you know, just spend that. Present. Be present.
Engaged and present. That's exactly right.
That's it, man. That's incredible, bro.
And
I think
go ahead.
You mentioned feeling like the bear had got the drop on you and that you had
there was a lot of shame.
Just
I remember.
utterly failed.
Yeah,
and shame.
failed.
Yeah, was the word that you used. And you know, I think most people don't get half eaten by a bear.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people
be like 1,000%.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, a lot of men, hit a point where they feel that they've hit that failure point, that there's some shame, that there's something, you know, whatever. You know, with me, it was some issues with an ex-wife.
Right.
But you know, you feel like you have hit that point where I'm just waiting to die. Like there's nothing else.
And your story is much greater than if you would have come back home with a bear.
No, absolutely.
Right. If you'd come back with a bear pelt,
yeah, it was so much more impact from that experience.
The healing, that how God wove this whole thing together. Yeah. He gave me all the skills and the background to be able to address those things. He gave me clarity of mind. He gave me exactly, because he knows the very number of hairs on my head.
Yes.
He knows what would drive me to surviving.
Man. Took you there. Took you all the way there.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's nuts if it takes you there.
Think about Jonah, the Jonah.
Yeah.
After that
Yeah.
Jonah and the fish. Like,
Yeah.
Literally, near-death experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, in the midst of all of that, working everything, well, ultimately for him to save his people.
Yes.
But yes, it was like those tragic, catastrophic type situations. It's hard to see how this is for my good.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Like, it's very hard to see.
Holy
Absolutely.
cow.
Good point.
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, in that moment, for you to be able to recognize that it can't be you. Because if it was you, I'd be like, hold on now, I'm about to die. Like,
Right.
so there had to be something that stepped in and gave you the strength to walk 2 miles and boat 14 miles
Yeah.
back. Like, that's a lot of time.
It is.
That's a lot of time. Like, we were talking about the Travis Scott concert, right? And 30 minutes is a lot of time for a show to continue to go on when people are
Right.
dying because
exactly.
in a situation, a crazy situation, 30 seconds in a boxing match, 3 minutes is a long time.
Indeed.
I'm exhausted after 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Hard to believe.
You know what's
And
interesting
that's
is
nuts, man.
that I have found, and I'm the perfect example of a lot of times what not to do, and a thick-headed and trying to figure out things. But I came away with an understanding that most men miss joy and purpose and real love and engagement of the heart by about 18 inches.
Yeah.
And that's the distance between here, the brain, and the heart. And a lot of men, you start talking about touchy-feely things or pressing into pain or finding that courage to talk about things that have look at you in the face that nobody else knows about. When you begin to engage the heart and realize that relationships
Yes.
need that heart, they want to know who you are, they want to know what you're feeling, they want to know what you've been through, and you begin to unpack that. I got to tell you, I've done a couple things in my life, but that was one of the most powerful things that I've ever, when I realized that engagement of the heart is just as important as all my accomplishments or my current job or my hobbies or whatever. Man, life just took on a whole different meaning.
Yeah.
And that's why I go around and speak now.
For
'Cause
sure.
I want men to not be afraid to, and I appreciate your
vulnerable.
transparency, Jonah, because you're talking about things that most guys are just like, oh, that's off limits. We can talk sports, we can talk whatever you want, but don't be asking me about my past or the things that the shame that I live with.
Yes.
And in other words, they just basically want to keep them prison doors.
Well, I'll give you a plug. So when Jonas brought me on Education is Painful, like, I'm the one, and I do this purposefully, right? Whether I'm meeting someone new, if I'm networking, whatever it is, I'm going to control that narrative. I'm going to ask all the questions because I don't want anybody knowing about my life or about me. Like, I don't, whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
This stuff is okay.
Yeah, right? But, like, on the show, like, we got kind of deep. And, like, it made me a little uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hold on now. Yeah. But once I began to speak to the certain topics that we spoke about, I realized, like, there was some relief in there at the same time.
Powerful.
Yeah. Like, I felt, that clarity you talk about. Like, I was like, hold on, what is this pressure that's being lifted off of me right now? We're just having a conversation. I talk to Jonas all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to be able to, get rid of this stuff and release these things that I haven't even thought about, that I didn't know were still in there, like that was like deflating a basketball or something. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
it felt good.
Yeah, it felt great.
Like, the two biggest things that we fear, to be really honest about, is judgment of people and rejection. Because if everybody know everything about me, we're not gonna be friends.
Exactly.
Just not. It's like you can't just throw
it out there.
And then for us, in particular, we are conquerors. We go and we get, and it's easy to brush that in the rug, and just keep going. And move on to the next thing. But I love, the thing for me that's opened up the ability to express and be pretty as honest as I can possibly be about who I am, my life experience, and what actually sucks about me is understanding that I've already been judged by my father.
Yes.
And he said, accept it.
Yes.
Exactly. Amen.
both are clear. I'm accepted.
Yes.
I'm accepted, and judgment has happened, and it happened at the cross.
Yes.
That's right.
And over time, hearing that message freed me to be real about myself
Yes.
to anybody, and it also creates relationships that are very real because a lot of people are afraid to speak about a lot of stuff. So when you lead off with, well, I'm terrible at this, that, and that, it's like, dang, me too.
Right.
Like, man, yes.
I
Like,
relate,
me too.
like,
I feel that.
yeah.
But that's not always the case.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for the fact that, I was able to hear the gospel, and it impacted me in that regard. It secured me in that regard to where I can be honest about, this is what I'm not good at. And this is, here's stuff that I am good at, but even over there, self-righteousness creeps in.
Yeah,
so in all my accomplishments and getting and all this stuff, like I still feel better than other people.
Yes.
But ultimately being able to just see that and know that even whether it's self-righteousness or is, my licentious side, I'm accepted, and I've already been judged.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
the verdict is not guilty.
Yeah.
Because of what Christ did.
And now that puts you in a completely different seat. Now you're just watching people do what you recognize
you're connected.
people.
Yeah. I can see
Very
your
well
pain. I can see your
articulated.
frustration. I understand this. I understand that.
Or I can see your judgment. Or I can see your.
I can see the judgment too. Absolutely, definitely see the judgment,
it puts
especially
you in
today. We're
yeah.
cancel culture.
Yes.
And so I see the hypocrisy.
Yes.
Like clearly,
Man.
clearly. So yes.
Well, thank
which
you
is
for
the
that
thing.
because you articulated that way better than I did.
Hey, and see,
I'm listening
right.
and learning right now.
and see, he got that side that
Oh,
people
man.
don't even know, man. Like
I don't
I
talk
love
about
that.
that
I
often,
love
man.
that. I love
Yeah.
it. I love that.
There's something really important about people who especially have the outward appearance of success or have the outward appearance of being the tough guy, being willing to share a vulnerable story because there's so many people who look up to you, who look at you and see but like
Really?
you got it all together.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So,
The symbol of strength and
right.
yeah.
And
we're the
so
same.
it would be easy for Greg Matthews to turn around and say, "Well, I survived a bear attack."
Yeah.
What did you do?
What did you do?
1000%. Yeah.
Nothing. Like
as
nothing close
opposed
to that.
to using that as a which is undoubtedly an attention getter,
Right.
as a platform to say, this is how bad I had gotten. Like even though it looked good from the outside, like this is where I was inside,
Exactly.
and this terrible thing that happened to me that I got through, not because I was so awesome,
so special.
but because I had been prepared and I had a brother that was there, a relationship
Right.
that was there.
Right.
That story is of redemption and
Yes,
recovery and not
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
and not look how awesome I was
Yeah.
for beating up a bear.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that
Although that would be a good story.
thank you
Indeed.
for that.
It's
And
like-
it's when you talk about, I encapsulate what you said as grace,
Indeed.
allowing
Ultimately.
that grace to come in. What I will tell you is my only motivation now is to get in front of men, even if it's just one-on-one. We just started a men's group in our neighborhood. They don't even know the story yet. I'm holding off on it, but
Yeah,
but,
that's
great.
but what I'll tell you is I try and muster up 60 seconds of courage, and that's what I tell men. If there's another man sitting a lot of times you got to have some respect levels and all that other stuff. You just can't have some nut job coming up and telling you all this stuff. But once there's some relationship, and you're able to share something in transparency, and you're able to be vulnerable and say, look, not proud of it, but this is what happened to me. This is how I'm broken. This is what I've dealt with. This is all of that. That 60 seconds of courage that I show, and I hate it. I honestly hate it because it sheds light on something that I was conditioned to.
Right.
If bad stuff's going on, Greg's not lovable and Greg's no good and all this stuff. But what I would tell you is what I'm looking for is it to spur the 60 seconds of courage in you or you, where you're like, you know what, I have not had this opportunity and this has been on my chest and nobody knows about it. Okay, well, let me tell you this. And then 60 seconds later, they're talking about it And what they've successfully done is pressed into the pain and actually come out the other side instead of everybody just bouncing off of it and avoiding
Deflecting.
it. Yeah, exactly. So
And burying.
Yeah.
Cementing layers and layers.
building up that wall, building up those defenses. Like we were talking about before the show. We were talking about I went to Normandy and saw that like where the Germans had built these massive defenses. And when I say massive, I'm talking concrete that's feet thick.
yes.
And that's what we do is we build up these
walls,
massive defenses around ourselves to keep people out.
Absolutely.
Keep people from seeing
for
the
sure.
parts of us that we don't want them to see.
Yeah. Especially.
Yes.
Exactly.
Especially if you're a good athlete. Like, what? No, look at that.
Minecraft,
Look what I did. Look what I built. Yeah.
That house is
1,000%.
humongous.
Absolutely.
No.
Don't let me
Absolutely.
forget. I have something I want to share with you. I don't want to run out of time.
Yeah,
So
no,
let me know
we
when-
got plenty of time. We still
Okay.
haven't
It's all-
even. This
it
is
is
like the
all
hardest
good.
transition I ever had to make in my life.
Well,
You
and
know
I
what
was
I'm
wondering how does the
Right.
Grizzly attack tie it into the sports?
Well,
and
because-
me now?
We're going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Chicago Bears.
You know what I'm saying? That's all we're going to tie it in.
It's all in there,
Is there
man.
one called the Scaredy Cat?
Hey, no, man.
We can
You
create.
know,
I can
I've
relate
seen
to
some
that
teams
too.
that played like that,
Bro,
I've
that
seen
would
some
be-
teams that let it. The Brooklyn Nets last
All
night.
people
Let it
everywhere.
Scare the Cats last night.
That's
Nah,
everybody.
But, yeah,
at the
for sure,
core.
for sure.
Scary
So
little
no,
kid.
man, like this is such an incredible story. I just
It
had to bring
is.
you on,
It
bro.
is.
Thank you, bro.
And this show really, it's about relating to one another, right? And
Yes, sir.
and like I've said several times. One of the main reasons that I wanted to, start a podcast was because that transition from sports
Yeah.
to the business world
Yes.
and that vulnerable space in between, right? Where it's like you're lost. You don't know who you are. You're lost of identity, right? So, I mean, it's not the same, but it's just the vulnerability. Coming on and being able to tell your story, bro, is what this is about. And I appreciate you so much because that story, when we talked about it this summer, like, impacted me. And I don't know if I'm not one to just express my emotions very much, but that blew my mind, dog. I mean,
I digress.
I'm so angry. That's Abe.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's okay to be angry if you're
Nah, but
mad,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
vengeful and angry that's totally, man.
Yeah, but
We're cool
Nah,
with
yeah,
that.
right. I
but
got you.
I don't show that vulnerable side very often,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, just like I said, I appreciate you coming on and telling your story. I thought that was a story that everybody needs to hear. So, we're building an audience. I don't know how many people that were impacted or heard it today, but we're gonna get it out, and they need to hear it. I know that much.
How much does the Lord value just one person?
Exactly.
I mean, if it touches somebody and changes their life for a positive and impacts their family and in a positive way, I'm all good. I'll show up all day.
Yeah,
for one person.
right on. And
Yeah, it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
appreciate that,
Appreciate you,
bro.
man.
Definitely
That's great.
appreciate you. I hope y'all enjoyed
love
that
it.
story because that mad boy.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Renee, you
I
enjoyed that
never
one right there?
sat next to
That was like I ain't never been attacked by a
Yeah,
bear.
that's one of those. Hell no.
As long as I got some binoculars,
Yo.
I'm about a good 200 yards away. I'm good.
Oh
Get
no.
off in a boat.
Oh no.
how is he's getting
If y'all,
in there, I
we
think.
gonna get you on the Starlink. That way you can stream
You can stream
what's going on.
There you
And I'll
go.
watch that. That's how I'm gonna be present.
Right. Almost like
That's
you're
what we'll
there.
do.
I'm in the
Almost.
comfort of my
That's
own
it.
home.
I was just
That's my
thinking
kind
about. Yeah.
Yes.
I was just imagining, because this morning I did my run and it was like I was out on the trail,
Yeah.
out
Woods.
there, and it was like it's out there.
He was out there.
and it's dark.
Oh,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
Those hogs are mean out
And
there.
there's hogs out. Yeah,
So
there's
you
hogs
imagine,
out
and
Oh,
we were
yeah,
talking
there's
about
boars.
the
Man.
boars that are eating people in Texas or something, right?
I seen the video. This is what I would do: fly on the helicopter,
Oh,
that
Oh, yeah.
big ass gun, and shoot
a pig
hogs,
lips now.
whatever.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
So when I was in
From the
pharmaceutical
helicopter.
sales back in
I'm
like
cool with that.
6 years ago, I
Ted
had
Nugent does that.
No,
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
go
Yeah, I had one
I'm
of
down.
the-
I'm down.
one of the companies that I was really close to, bro, invited me to go do that down in Austin. They go hog hunting from the helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
That's I would do
And
that.
that looks
That's
so
that's
dope.
about
I
it.
just never did it.
Yep. Not,
I never did it.
Nowhere where you can like actually reach me. Yeah,
kind of like, how do you kill such little hogs? You just don't lead them as far.
Right.
Right on, man. Right on. So I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. I hope y'all enjoyed that right there. Now it's time. Hey, in case you haven't seen the show, I'm sure you have. Right?
I watched a few before I came on.
Yeah, man. So we are Noonish Sports and Technology. So we're going to transition to the sports side of things. I know your favorite topics. Jonas's favorite topic. Me and Mark, not so much. You know, we like that technology stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We'll go ahead and slide this in here. Got the jersey on. How about those Cowboys? You watch the Cowboys play this weekend?
I did.
Oh man, did you watch the whole game?
Dominant.
You did. You start cooking or reading or something?
Right, understood.
Yes,
After the first quarter.
Oh my gosh, bro! It was 28-3. It was like, hold on, where was this team last week?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't even care. I'm glad they're here this week. Man,
Dominant.
Back to right back to
most
what we were
dominant.
doing prior to the
Whatever they put in the Gatorade this week.
Right. Yes, sir.
They need to keep doing that.
What did he say? He put in a little monkey butt is what they did.
That's what they did. They
A
went
little
the
monkey butt, bro. Is what they called it.
Okay.
You know, little red ass this week for the
That
squad.
what it was?
You know, got on them real a little tough
little
love.
monkey cheek. Little monkey cheek kids. Okay.
Red bottom boys,
Monkey.
and we ain't talking about the Christian Louboutins. Right?
Okay.
So, you know, the
We'll see you
Cowboys
this
came
week.
out balled out, bro.
Yep.
Right? Dak, you know, he's a guy that he showed up again.
He did. He was back.
Yeah.
Now, you know, that was a good tune-up
Yeah.
for what is seemingly to be a resurging Kansas City Chiefs squad.
Hey, it's going to be a
I'm
great
looking
game this
forward to
weekend.
this game.
It is going to be a great game this weekend.
Man.
And, you know, I will say this. I trust our defense right now more than I trust their defense. And that's the only thing I can really because
agree.
I feel like our offenses, I think Dallas Cowboys offense may be a little more powerful.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, from a skill,
they can control the game, I think.
the play callers on Kansas City side might be better. But I feel that athlete man to man on paper, there's nobody in the league that we can say is better than the Cowboys.
No, not
on
outright.
paper.
No, not outright.
Like, just period.
Not outright. No.
Yeah, on
Not at
offense,
all.
I'm talking.
Exactly.
Right?
Not outright. They're just better. No, there's nobody in the NFL that's just better.
We've got a lot of power on that side of the football, and it's fun to watch.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Zeke and Pollard, like,
It's great.
Zeke only had 14 carries. Pollard only had 11 carries in this game. Like that's 25 carries. That's what we need.
Yeah.
I think Dak threw the ball 30 times, 31 times.
It's great.
Great balance right there.
It's great.
And I didn't even know we had a guy from the Eagles on our team. Clement, the running back.
Yeah. Oh,
I had no idea he was on that squad. Yeah,
Super Bowl champion. Yeah.
He got
like,
a
wait,
ring.
what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have that presence.
Yeah,
I appreciate that presence in the locker room.
Some ring things. Somebody who understands some ring things.
He's been there. He knows what it takes, right? We got a coach and a player that knows what it takes, right?
You do.
So,
You do.
hey, man, that was Atlanta, man, just looked really bad. They looked really bad.
They did. They took a step back.
Yeah. They were missing some guys. Calvin Ridley was out.
Doesn't matter. They were winning without him.
Yeah,
I mean, they were kind of in a little win. I mean, they were feeling good. Like, they had just come off, 2 wins in a row, I want to say.
Right.
You know, when you start feeling
Decent
locker room's
wins.
good.
Yeah.
Like, we got a chance to go in Dallas and compete,
Yep.
potentially win. No.
He got smacked like the Rock, man.
Not at all. Yeah.
The Rock smacked him right there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the Cowboys just went hard right there.
Yeah, they
So that
did.
was a great showing by my Cowboys. Diggs, number 8, man. You
That
know,
was the dumbest. I mean, that I think that play spoke to their season.
yeah,
Literally.
yeah.
Great call. Get the guy wide open. Ran down the sideline like this. Like,
Hello, I'm over here.
no, I'm gonna throw it to the cover guy, who's actually fairly open. He was actually fairly open if
Yeah.
he led him to the sideline,
Yeah.
where he was going. But no, he threw it high and behind,
Yep.
and gave Diggs a nice little number 8.
Number
like,
8
thank
right
you,
there.
thanks,
Number
bro.
8.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
But
And Anthony Brown's interception was pretty impressive.
That was an
though.
impressive
That
pick.
one-handed tip drill to himself.
Yeah, that was
cool.
impressive. That
and
was
of
impressive.
course, you know, it's hard to talk about the defense without talking about Michael Parsons, who is just dominant right
Defensive
now.
Rookie of the Year.
You think he might be defensive player of the year as well? Is there a chance?
He's
he
in the
could be
running.
Both.
He's not. Aaron Donald is still that.
Aaron Donald, he's still doing that?
Yeah, tackles for a loss. Something even they got beat pretty good.
Yeah.
But a lot of it had to do with offense not clicking and
Yeah.
putting their offense in position to score fairly easy. And they had pick 6.
Yeah.
Their offense is not on whatever. But Aaron Donald
Yeah. Always.
disrupt
Gamer.
every like crazy. He's always disrupting. always.
We'll get to the Rams in a second. We'll get to the Rams. I can't let you skip.
He's in the defensive MVP, overall defensive MVP running.
I can't let you skip what happened.
There was also a jump to the heart of this.
So, all right, so hey, I guess everybody has one of these games. And last week was just a weird week. And I mean, Sunday was weird. Thursday was weird.
Yeah.
Thursday was bad. So, it wasn't even weird. It was just bad.
So what happened? And you broke it down.
Yeah.
Like real quick before we started, right? So what happened to the Ravens to where Lamar just looked? And is this one of those situations where teams are going to start to mimic what
of course
Miami did
absolutely
to stop Lamar Jackson? Because Miami,
look,
a lot of people Vegas lost money on Thursday night. Miami winning that game 22-10.
22-10. Lamar looked like San Diego Charger playoff game Lamar.
Oh, man.
Like, I throw there, like, throw it low, like, it was, and then he didn't get help when he did make a nice throw.
Yep.
And some of the scheme plays just wasn't executed properly.
Yeah.
Cover zero was what Miami was running. A cover zero defense means it is the riskiest defense that you could ever play in NFL. It's like, betting all your money on penny stocks.
Yeah.
Cover zero. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
If somebody misses one tackle, essentially that's a home run.
Wide open. Yeah.
You're gone. There's no safety. We're all out. We're going to make you make decisions under extreme pressure.
Yeah.
Not regular pressure, extreme pressure. We're going to line them up on the line of scrimmage. I mean, it takes no time. You're going to block 6, we're sending 7.
Yeah.
You're going to block 7, we're sending 8. Somebody's free every fucking time. Like, somebody, we know.
And that's what they did the entire game.
And that's what they did 90% of the game.
Yeah. Wow.
And
so
that's hard.
So
I mean,
Pittsburgh, right? He's played Pittsburgh already this year, right?
Yeah.
Did they not go cover zero on them?
No, we haven't. But Pittsburgh is not a cover zero team. They have
that like 2 down lineman
blitz scheme. Yeah, and they try to confuse you.
Yeah,
but they're not a cover zero team. They don't just line up at the line of scrimmage. Everybody flat on the line of scrimmage.
They confuse you up
ready to
front.
Go. They confuse. They move
trying to
around.
make you guess and see who's
coming.
They try to mix up your block.
This guy's coming. No, he's not coming. That guy's actually coming.
Yeah,
that's what Pittsburgh does. Yeah. And they're great at it, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, Miami and Brian Flores. He brought that from New England.
I had no idea Brian Flores came from New England.
He came from New England. Wow. And when he was in New England, they ran that defense when they were the top defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
And so ultimately what happened was they got in their face. They were like, look, we're just going out. What do we got to lose?
Yeah.
What did Miami have to lose?
Nothing.
Right. So
was that their second?
We're giving it everything we got. What was that?
I think that was their third win of the season.
Yeah, third. I think
that's
it was
crazy.
3-5 or 3-5.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose. Cover zero. We're just gonna put the pressure on to see how they handle it. And as the game went on, they saw they couldn't handle it. So we're sticking with. It ain't broke.
Don't fix it.
Yep. Sure enough, that's what it was.
Wow. And I just knew they were gonna come out and make a second half adjustment, right?
Indeed, I know that. Exactly. I did. But what happened was continued lack of execution of the adjustments that was made.
Yeah.
A drop here. The throw was a little wide. Like, converting on third down was a little tough. We missed the screen. Somebody just missed the block. So
when you had your chances, you didn't take advantage of it, basically.
You exactly.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah.
And Baker, linebacker, he's really fast.
Yeah.
And so when you're scheming up these plays, a lot of times you're not anticipating the linebacker that's walked up in the A gaps, B gap maybe, to contact, come out and run to the sideline and beat.
And he's got the speed to do it. To beat the running back.
Beat the running back to the sideline.
Right. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Like that was
very, so
it is. So the speed of that defense, the aggressiveness of that defense, totally dominated that game.
Yeah.
And then defensively for the Ravens, even special teams wise, Tuck missed the field goal, and at that I was like,
that's unheard of. Yeah, that's just not your game. That's not your day.
Here we go. And that was first quarter. I was like, okay, here we go. Averett, he blew 2 coverages.
Yeah.
2 coverages, and they were the 2 big plays that led to essentially their touchdowns.
Yeah.
And it was just an off game
night
for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Like
Thursday night football is the most
unpredictable
night every week.
It really is.
Unpredictable game.
It has been, yeah.
And it's just because you never know who's injured. You never know how these guys really feel after playing on Sunday or Monday, and then coming like right back 3-4 days later.
Oh yeah.
Like football's a rough game to come back from 4 days later.
4 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 1 day of practice essentially.
Yeah, that's insane, man. One day of preparation.
One solid day of practice.
That's insane, bro. And then didn't expect the 49ers either to come out. Oh, what were you about to say?
No, I'm saying so it's tough. You're correct.
Yeah.
But
so didn't expect the 49ers to come out and dominate the Rams that way. You know, Von Miller, OBJ, all this. You know,
Star
shine, LA. Ooh,
the bling bling. We got a new Lamborghini in the building.
They forgot about the game.
Right.
You got to play the game.
You got to play the game, man.
You got to play the game,
You got to stop
man.
the run.
Yes. And, I mean, this is, 3 losses in a row for the Rams right now?
3 bad too.
Yeah.
2 bad. But
Yeah.
3 losses. Yeah.
3 losses straight, and the Rams, this is a team that a lot of people, not just you,
but
predicted to be. I know they have
definitely
a
championship game. Yeah.
Yeah.
NFC championship, but yeah, Super Bowl. Yeah.
So do you feel that OBJ makes them a better squad?
I feel OBJ
because I know Rashad Woods got hurt.
Yeah, that's crazy that happens. Better, no, but as explosive, yes.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
But what they are going to have to run the ball better, like they was doing in the beginning of the season.
Yep.
And Matt is going to have to be a little bit more careful with the ball. Like, you know, he's getting downfield happy. But, I mean, his interceptions have been under pressure, which is fine. But I think you decrease that pressure by running the ball, which was what they started off doing.
I mean, that's what took them to the Super Bowl.
Running the ball. Yeah, running.
When they ran the
football.
And
then everything was play pass off that.
They ran
it was hard
straight.
to stop the run, and you play pass off that.
That year they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. They ran through the Cowboys.
They really, And they brought your boy off the street.
30 I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name, but they brought him off the street.
Yeah, he's like a bowling ball, and we couldn't stop him.
Couldn't stop him.
He's like,
he went for like 120.
Yeah, bro. So
but
the Rams,
they got to get back to that.
That was shocking. And another New England Patriot in Tennessee, right? The head coach for Tennessee.
Oh, Vrabel.
Vrabel.
Yeah,
Mike Vrabel.
Their mentality's solid, bro.
And it's odd because, they lost, probably the MVP would have been MVP of the league in Derrick Henry.
Indeed.
Like, that guy's everybody knows he's like an unstoppable force. He's out for, 6 weeks? Something like that?
Yeah.
So that's a blessing.
That he's not out for the season, indeed. Yeah. And then they was able to pick up Adrian Peterson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you play with Adrian Peterson?
Yeah, Adrian was a freshman when I was a senior.
That's crazy.
Like, this was one of the freakiest people I've ever watched do anything in my life. Like, just.
So when you heard he signed with the Titans, what was your thought? You think he was going to be capable of coming in and doing something? Like,
absolutely.
God, no.
I think back to his first practice. It was just like, oh, he doesn't belong here. Like, this guy does not belong
out
here.
Out of high school?
Out of high school. Like, this guy belongs there, like, now. Already. This is a grown-ass man. Right now. Like, right now. Literally.
18 years old.
18. He don't belong here.
That is
that
crazy,
guy belongs over there.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So to hear that was just like, of course. Yeah. Oh, that's all this is how he programs. I was like,
and bro. I can't lie, bro. Like, nobody will believe me if when I tell you this. But as soon as I heard Derrick Henry got hurt, I was like, they're gonna go sign Adrian Peterson.
That. Yeah,
because I was thinking about another explosive, physical running back.
Yeah, that's like,
and he was like the only other person. That could even come close to what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know he's like he's older.
And he's older.
Was he 37, 38 now?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like
he's old in football.
That's old. And running back years, that's ancient.
Like, right. Yeah. That's like
running back years. Yes, that is ancient, my brother.
But he's that is a once in a generation player right there.
Yes.
To be able to come in and do what he's doing, but again, that defense that the Titans is rolling out there, man.
They balling.
Like they don't give up many points, right? They're gonna sustain what they got to do until he comes back. And
they're in the mix.
Kudos to the Saints quarterback,
Trevor Siemian.
Trevor Siemian, bro.
Stepping in.
Like, I can't believe Denver let him go.
Real vet.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't believe Denver let him go because he was pretty good for those guys.
Yep.
And he's doing again what, jumping in for Jameis Winston.
Yep.
And he's able to keep things rolling, right?
Coordinator, a great offensive mind, a great quarterback coach, a great, kind of psychologist of quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he he's in an amazing situation, to be honest.
Oh yeah, and that guy should be here with the Cowboys, but
y'all need him.
That's a former Cowboy.
This is a rich trying to get richer. Y'all need. You're right.
Good right
yeah,
now. We're good.
Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy.
Right? So,
relax.
Then
Yep.
the Raiders, man, it's sad. They had a ton of expectations, right, after the first few games of the season. And they've just gone crashing down, bro. And you can't even blame them for the regression they've taken, right? They lost 41-14 to the Chiefs. That is starting, they're like opposite paths right now. The Chiefs started out way down here, nobody expected. The Raiders started out way up here, nobody expected, and they kind of just, switch roles, whatnot. But the Raiders have just had some very unfortunate situations to take place, and like as a team, it's hard for you to focus on the field when you have so much off the field distractions affecting your coach and like one of your top receivers. Like that kind of stuff, like that hurts the locker room, that hurts the dynamic, bro. Like it's hard. It's hard to turn. You can't turn it on and turn it off in the NFL.
No doubt.
Right.
It's rhythmic.
So
it's rhythmic.
That's unfortunate. The Chiefs, I mean, we already kind of discussed it a little bit. They're starting to pick up what they're doing. Patrick Mahomes he's doing what he's doing again. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
it was the first time I've seen them, make some throws, just through dime balls.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen him throw dime ball, meaning hitting the receiver on the run, in stride,
right
where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing that all year.
Yeah.
This game he did it a handful of times. It was just like, oh, okay. Now if they're scheming up plays and they're executing plays like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
because their defense is.
This is when it matters.
This is
Right?
we're getting there.
Halfway point of the season.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're
getting there.
End of November, December.
We're getting there.
Those are the games that matter. That's when you can really start to know who you are as a team.
No, exactly.
Right. Those first couple months. I mean, especially
figuring
with
it out. Everybody's figuring it out.
And they shortened preseason. Like a lot of the guys weren't even really going in preseason, so you really can't even really count the first 4 games of the season.
Yeah, that's all warm up.
Yeah. So now we're starting to realize who these guys are, and it's crazy that it's just nobody's used to seeing Kansas City struggle for the past couple of years since Pat Mahomes has taken the helm.
Really? Since Andy Reid's been there, to be honest.
You're right. Because Alex Smith was
they were still in the
hard.
playoff. Kansas City has been good consistently.
Yep, you're right. But this weekend, man, looking forward to it.
Well, here we go.
On the 21st, man, showdown, baby. The Dallas Cowboys versus the Dallas Texans. The Kansas City Chiefs.
At Arrowhead.
In Arrowhead.
At Arrowhead.
One of the craziest environments to play in. So that's going to be a great game, man.
Looking forward to that one.
Great game. I'm back.
Cam.
Yeah, that was, I was happy to see Cam back on the field.
Right.
Yeah, I was happy for him.
Yeah.
That he's getting to play. Do what he loves to do.
Period. Oh, yeah. They said that's awesome. He's the first quarterback in 30 years to throw for a touchdown on his first play and run for a touchdown on his first run.
Whoa.
Of a season. That's what he did Sunday. He's both in on goal line situations.
Yeah.
They brought him in, certain package.
Yeah.
He executed, but he's the first one in 30 years to be able to. I don't know who the last one was, but that's pretty cool. I'm happy to see him back. I think he's
not a scenario that presents itself.
Yeah,
like often.
For sure,
either,
for sure. Lamar might be able to start a game like that.
Yeah, if you get a kickoff return, maybe
throw for one.
Throw one. Yeah, and break for one.
Hit Hollywood on something special,
Yeah. But that's still kudos.
But that's great fantasy points, dog. Great. That's some
they picked them up. That's love.
Quick, 2 plays.
Yeah.
What? Hold on now. Yeah. He would have scored more than Aaron Rodgers did, and Russell Wilson did this weekend for me. Those guys tank, bro. Russell had a horrible game. We didn't even bring that up.
That was defense. Yeah. Them defenses was playing, man.
Yeah, bro.
Them guys was balling in that game.
Yeah. So if I had to ask you,
midseason,
who are your midseason? Who's your top 5 in the NFL right now? Your top 5 clubs, top 5 football teams, and how would you rank them?
In all of the NFL.
All the NFL. And hey, Matt Jones got those Patriots looking really dynamic right now.
Yeah, they are. I'm gonna put Dallas at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
They're just well rounded. dominant.
And we see that fandom coming back out of you now. We see it coming back out. I know it's been tucked down since 97, 95.
Look, no. I got Dallas 1. I got I got Green Bay 2.
Yeah,
actually, because I love Aaron. I always love Aaron, and their defense is balling, and I think they have enough on offense to obviously. And then there's Aaron. Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna go Tennessee.
Yeah,
they're really tough. They're a tough out. They're a tough team.
Yes.
They're grimy. They fight. And
they're nasty.
They're nasty. So that's my 3. Then I go Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, even after the L to Taylor Heineke.
I think they're bored right now.
And they're hitting that kind of You're good. I mean, they can take 1 or 2. But I still got Tampa Bay in there. They have 4.
Yep.
And then my 5 will be. I have to go Buffalo. I'm going to put Buffalo at 5 above Arizona.
I thought there was going to be another B that came out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I thought you were going to say Baltimore.
Not.
Because,
they're right on the outside.
Yeah. You think so?
Right of the top 5?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Right on the outside, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And if you had a top 5, Jonas, I mean, what we got? Let's just throw them out there.
I mean, I actually would put Baltimore in top 5 because I mean they've had some bad moments, but that's a team, that's a club that you don't want to count out too early, just in general.
No, you're not counting them out. It's not top 5.
They're going to be there
right now.
Yeah,
they're not top 5 right now.
Yeah,
I'm just saying right now.
But yeah, I would have kept them in there.
I would have too, Jonas.
Probably in 5, but
5. Okay.
Yeah.
I got them right.
Yeah. Cowboys are not the Cowboys we saw last year. That's for sure.
Yeah, they weren't sniffing 10.
We're not sniffing 10.
They're still living in the shadows, though, of some jacked up calls that took them right out.
Oh yeah, we talking about
nobody ever talks about that. Yeah, I'm talking about.
We talking about it on the commercial.
Okay, because nobody talks about that, but
That's a catch.
I was told when I moved here that I was a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I bought into that.
That was a catch.
And then I seen some. It wasn't their fault, but they live almost like in the shadow of just getting some really messed up calls.
And I think Goodell got something against Jerry. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at that. That's why it wasn't a catch in Green Bay, but they won't say it, but I will.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I will. That was a catch.
So
that broke a whole squad for like 4 years. Right. Oh my gosh. I'm almost in the booth now.
Like in reverse, I guess.
Yeah, you starting at 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I would put Baltimore. I guess I'm not going reverse. I'm going outside in.
Yeah. No,
because I think Cowboys could be a 1 or 2 right now.
Yeah,
like you said.
For sure.
I think you're right. The Titans are just badass this year.
Gritty.
I'm going to throw the Panthers in there.
Ooh, the Panthers?
Yeah.
Why?
Not because of their past performance up to now. Well, I mean it is, but like we've seen them come away from some places where they should have taken an L, and they didn't. Like they somehow. Like what? Call it luck. Call it.
We're putting them at number 2.
No, I wouldn't put them at number 2.
They're just in your top 5.
But they're in your top 5 at number like 3.
No, they probably should be at like
above
6.
Baltimore.
Yeah, they should be. The Panthers should be
wow.
They should be like
Jonas.
They should be like number 6 in the
Jonas, what are you talking about?
I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta mix it up. You gotta mix it up.
They're gonna mess around and make it to the NFC.
And then they go absolutely with Cam Newton.
Well, I actually thought the Panthers were like a B grade college team this year.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had a real team. So.
Yeah. So who's your number 1?
I think just for the heck of it, and because we are in Dallas, I'll have to say Cowboys.
Cowboys are your number one right now.
Right now.
Gotcha. I mean, that's pretty solid. Panthers, that
really
shakes them up.
Carolina,
but really, the
the
Cowboys that we have seen the last this season, especially in the last few games, has been a completely different. Like, this is the Cowboys that we should have seen last year.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
So
who's your 5?
My 5. All right. Oh man, 5's. I mean, it's tough because it's a pretty competitive league. A lot of parity this year.
It is.
Ton of parity this year in the league.
TBD too. Like 500, 6-4 teams is like.
So I have to go with the Cardinals, right?
Number 1?
No, 5.
5. Okay.
That's my number 5.
I like it.
And the Ravens, bro. I think last game was a fluke, bro. But I just
a light of fire.
4.
They are tough, bro. They are tough. They're really tough. Got to throw the Bucks in there at 3.
Yeah, true.
Actually, I put the Bucks at 2.
I just sort of forgot about them.
And who did I have the Ravens in there already?
You put Ravens you got Ravens in there.
All right. So
you got Cardinals, Ravens, Bucks.
Yeah, and then I'll go Cowboys.
Yeah,
because I want them to give them something to shoot for.
Okay.
I'm not going to put them right up at the top.
Wow. I'm not going to be a homer, but y'all know what it is in my heart.
2.
You know what it is in my heart.
At 2.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah,
that.
And the number 1.
Yeah, y'all know what it is in my heart, man.
All right.
But
your number 1 team in the
number
NFL
1, man,
today, right now,
Tennessee, with Derrick Henry, Tennessee.
So they don't have Derrick Henry. So what are you saying?
Today. All right. So let's put an asterisk. Asterisk.
Just today.
Today, Green Bay. It has to be Green Bay.
Okay.
Right. And the Rams would have been in there, but they've been taking some shaky losses here recently.
Defense is
they've got they got to grow. They got to gel. They got some new players in there. They got to get used to the scheme and everything.
They can't stop the run, bro.
But the Rams,
which
is tough.
That's
how's
tough,
that possible with Aaron Donald? Is like on
You're
your
not
line.
the only one. That's what.
And now Von Miller
run,
so but it has to be Green Bay, right? The most special quarterback in the league.
I agree.
Aaron Rodgers. People underestimate his athleticism.
Yeah.
Great quarterback here, but the guy is very athletic.
Yep.
And
the defense doing what it's doing.
Yeah, that defense, they've been shutting people down pretty dang good. And Aaron Rodgers don't need that much. So that's my top 5. Would you like to give me your top 5?
Actually, you guys have hit all around what I would have picked. Seriously, I like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But the Titans kind of goes back and forth as far as. But I will tell you that my brother and I are hoping, and if a distant 6, the LA Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers, yeah. They're taking some losses recently.
But that quarterback is just.
He's special. He's special.
He is. So that's my hope.
Yep.
Not that there's any basis of fully understanding it, but
coming from that 619,
right?
Those San Diego Chargers back in the. I still call them San Diego because they got some hitting home.
You know who you remind me of? So I flipped to Chicago real quick for a TV show, and I got sat next to Matt Forte.
Yeah,
Matt Forte,
and him and I was embarrassed. I didn't know who he was and all that. And so we connected. He loves the Lord. And we're still connected. But visiting with him and talking to him on the phone, you remind me a lot of him.
Well, Matt, man, we almost had the same agent coming out. His
really?
That's Adisa Bakari.
Okay.
And he was just getting into the game, and he was leaving the corporate game and getting into the sport game, and bringing the marketing side to it. And so we were very close to having the same agent.
That's how Louisiana
I
boy,
remember.
man. Independence, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Well, he is on fire for the Lord. Man, I just love talking with him. And he offered up his phone number. I'm like, seriously, you give me your phone? He's like, yeah. And so I never, ever put anybody else on the phone or anything like that. I just text him, hey, how you doing, Matt? How's your walk with the Lord? And so we've been connected for a couple of years. But
that's what's up.
We got to get Forte on the show, man, just because
that's cool.
I got some other ties to him.
Well, let's work on him then.
Yeah, man. So that's very cool.
Man.
Very cool, man. So that's our NFL top 5. We're going to move on to NCAA, man, where we will start with the biggest upset in NCAA. Big 12.
The biggest upset?
Well, there's two big upsets in the Big 12.
The biggest upset.
This is two big upsets.
That was a bad one.
Hey, it was a bad one, man. I don't know. I mean, was it really that bad? Because y'all actually at least lost to a ranked opponent.
Well, yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad in that we're not a great dominant team.
Yeah.
And Baylor is a good team.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so
y'all at their place.
Definitely at their place. It matters more in college than it does in the league.
Is Baylor's quarterback that good? Because he looked really good.
Bohannon is nice, bro. If you want, I mean, just
is he a prospect or is he just a good college player?
He's a good college player.
Gotcha.
He's a good college player.
Gotcha. Isn't that weird?
It is weird, but it is what it is because the level of competition at college
versus the NFL
is vastly different.
Yeah.
The IQ is just on a whole nother level.
So the Falcons would destroy Baylor.
Oh God! Good. Absolutely. Like, they just know too much.
Goodness, what's going on, Rob?
No, yes, I mean it was tough to watch because they dominated us.
Yeah,
they really did dominate us.
Was they more physical than you expected them to be?
No, they have been.
Yeah,
I mean Baylor is. Yeah, you know that's gonna be a tough win. You know, like going in, you already know because they are very feisty. Like they've been that for years. I mean,
since our Browns.
Apart from Art, leaving and then coach who just went to Carolina had to come in and kind of do things, but he left it back in good shape, really good shape, and here they are. And so no, I mean I knew it was gonna be a tough game going in. I felt like we could have lost it, but I didn't think we would lose like that.
Yeah,
that was it. Caleb played very loose, and a lot of what was going on early was Caleb was loose, which was to his benefit.
Yeah,
there's a lot of plays that were 50-50 balls that went his way.
Yeah,
when other plays were like, oh yeah, you got away with that.
That's why it's 50-50.
That's why it's 50-50.
Yeah,
but you can't live like that. That's Patrick Mahomes. That's not,
yes.
like no.
You got to bring that back in.
Fundamentals matter. Like fundamentals matter, and you have to hit things on time. You got to throw the ball on time. Like 80% of the time, you got to be that.
Yeah, and
then there's room for backyard ball.
Yes.
Period. And so he was 80% backyard ball, and obviously you can't live like that, and he didn't, and it didn't look good. So he got set down on the bench for a series, similar to what happened with Spencer, his first year playing, and then got to go back in, but the damage has already been done.
Yeah,
there was no coming back. Like that was they were on.
Yeah,
they were on.
I didn't expect that at all.
No,
at all.
Man, not like that. Not like that.
No, I thought it was going to be a good game. It wasn't even a good game.
No. They control. Yeah, that's right. I don't know how many 3 and outs we had, but they were and turn.
That's just that was just a bad showing by OU. They're a lot better team than what they displayed this past weekend. I think we know that. I think Baylor caused a lot of that.
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think.
You don't think they're a better team than what they showed?
I think they are who they are. Yeah, because I haven't been impressed with our defense this year. We dominated a Western Carolina, and we dominated, Tech when they came into town.
Yeah.
Apart from that, like it literally is fairly even matched, and we had to pull out.
Yeah, because they struggled against Tulane.
They struggled against Tulane,
and it's not the same.
Our front struggled
last year.
Tulane.
Like the front was the
we're missing
strength.
Ronnie Perkins. Perkins was not only he was a force.
Yeah,
he was like our Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
of sorts. Like he was like an anchor, and he could wreck plays and. It didn't even matter. They could have blew coverage on the back end, but Ronnie Perkins
it's causing so much
to the quarterback. Exactly. And so it made everybody look good.
Yeah.
We don't got that.
Yeah.
And so our defense is an average defense playing against average to below average teams.
Yeah.
Which leads to you're going to win.
It's putting a lot of pressure on the offense.
Be great. There's a ton of pressure.
Especially a lot of pressure on a freshman.
On a freshman. Now, it put a lot of pressure on Spencer in our offense, and certainly now on Caleb.
Yeah.
And so we're going to struggle. The next game is going to be a tough one. And the next one after that is going to be a tough one. We got Iowa State.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Bedlam? And then Bedlam.
And
so we can step up. And I think, what can happen is for whatever, like offensively, we can get hot. We're fairly streaky at times. I think we can get hot offensively. Defensively, I just feel like these games are going to be
It's going to be a shootout. Yeah, straight up.
They're going to be shootouts, man.
Straight up, man. That's
what it is.
That's unfortunate. Because Oklahoma State isn't that bad.
That's the state of the union.
They're pretty dang good.
Yeah, they are.
I was happy to see my boys. Notre Dame. How you doing, Andy? Went out. Kind of just started coasting after a while. We got up early.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Got up early. 28. You know what I'm saying? 28-3.
What was that? 28.
It was 28-3. Yeah, like early, like halftime.
It was like half 28-3. Yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of coasted.
Just rolled it on out.
Brian Kelly, I appreciate that sportsmanship you displayed. Making sure our guys are good for the following week, this coming up week. So, we're rolling, man. We're gonna keep climbing the charts, man. I'm happy that we're ahead of OU now. Georgia rolled over Tennessee. Like those guys, scored 40 points like it's clockwork, like it's easy money.
Yeah.
So I think they're really number one.
People under 20.
I'm going to be interested to see what happens in that SEC championship game and who they face. You think it'll be Alabama?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. I do. I think, yes, absolutely.
That'll be interesting.
It will be interesting.
Yeah.
Some tailgating will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Tailgating will.
Guaranteed.
Definitely.
1,000%. I'm willing to bet everything in my left pocket. Tailgating.
That's where the real win.
That's some serious tailgating.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
I forgot. We didn't do our toast, but I look up and I see 2 empty cups.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
we can still do it, though.
Hey.
PD toast, man, to the past and the present.
Past, present, and future.
Cheers, man. Performance-enhancing drinks, one time.
All right.
But back to it, man. So, Michigan beat Penn State. Michigan's balling this year, playing a little better. They took an L early in the year, but we'll see what happens against Ohio State. That seems to be the thorn in Jim Harbaugh's side.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens there. Kansas broke a 56 game? 56 game road. Sorry, 56 road game.
56 game road losing streak.
Really? Yeah, game 56, road losing streak. 56
in a row.
They lost 56 in a row and beat Texas this weekend.
Road games. That's crazy.
56 road games in a row and beat Texas this weekend. So
on the road, just.
I'm not gonna go horns down, but that ain't Come on, y'all gotta figure it out, man.
But we're horns down.
Yeah. I already know.
Renee.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling you hype, man. All the hype, bro. Hey. All the hype behind you, man. All the big bucks behind you, bro. And they could have kept Tom Herman. At least he was winning. He was definitely beating Kansas.
He was beating Kansas.
Sark, I don't know about you right now. You're skep right now. Jackson State, Mississippi, they had a huge win. They beat Southern this weekend. I didn't see that coming. Southern's a Bayou Classic, Southern University down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
They've been a powerhouse.
They've been good
in the SWAC for a long time. And Jackson State, man, they've got one loss this year.
Okay.
One loss this year, and that was a game they should have won
after the spring season, huh?
Yeah, bro. They lost to Monroe, man. They lost to Louisiana Monroe, man. I know they're just like, ugh. We let them beat us, man. Keep us out of the top 25.
21-17.
Yeah, 21-17,
nice.
Man. Good game. Shador Sanders, Deion's son, came in through the game-winning touchdown late in the game to win that bad boy. Yeah. Great game. Great job by the Jackson State, man. You guys looking, shout out to you guys out there. NBA talk right now, real quick. Trying to roll through this real fast. The Mavs, they're doing better than I thought they would. They are not who we thought they were. Right?
I saw a Porzingis sighting.
Hey, Porzingis.
I said Porzingis go to the hole, drive to the hole.
Yeah, I was like, saw him dunking.
What?
Porzingis is, he's trying to earn his millions.
Is Luka getting those free throws down yet?
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah. That's been an issue.
Interesting.
That's so weird.
10 feet outside the 3-point line. And you think it all day and just
clock running down.
Yeah. It's like he didn't hit it.
That's why they compare him to LeBron, because LeBron's the same way.
Same way.
Hit a free
Can't
throw.
Hit a free throw. I can have
he ain't
three
shooting
dudes in
the
my
three
face.
like that either.
Right, he's not. But yeah, Luka.
We digress.
Speaking of Luka, he had an injury, hurt his ankle, twisted his ankle.
He had a roll.
Yeah. Late in the game. I don't know. We'll see how long he's going to be out or if he's going to be out.
Right.
But Mavericks are doing much better than I thought.
Yep.
Is it the Lake Show or the Fake Show?
Fake.
It's the Fake Show.
I ain't going nowhere.
Well, LeBron hasn't played the past 7 games, so
if LeBron gets back, it's just more chaos.
AD's over there acting like
who's doing
Draymond
Green?
Green?
Skin? Like who are we?
Yeah,
identity crisis for the whole year.
Well, I mean, until Russ decides that he's gonna come off the bench.
Too many Chiefs.
Yeah,
gets paid too much.
Yeah,
too big ego. Too many Chiefs.
And the exact opposite thing is going on in Washington right now with the Wizards.
Yeah, and Golden State.
Last
night was.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Steph
cooking.
went crazy. They started having MVP chants in
Brooklyn.
For Steph Curry.
They were like telling him to shoot it. Like, shoot. Like, it was
9 threes.
amazing.
Like, have you watched Steph Curry play basketball?
Amazing.
Yes.
Like, that
It is so...
he is the greatest shooter ever.
Unconscious.
Yes.
I mean, just...
Yeah.
Talk about touch.
Flick of the wrist.
Yeah, the follow through. All
flick of the wrist.
Somebody figuring out
Bro.
what they were meant to do and doing it.
Right. Exactly.
On
a string.
He did that. On a string. Yeah.
On a string.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude there is just, Steph, like, and he's going to play for another, I don't know how many more years.
Man.
Like, that guy, he already broke the 3-point record.
Yep.
Like, that dude there is pretty incredible, man.
No, that team is awesome. And then and he got a supporting cast for real now.
Yeah, he does.
Poole, I was like, oh,
is he a rookie?
He's a creator. No. Poole, what is his second or third year?
Is he can't
was there last year.
So, wow, so he's just blooming
chicken
right
bump,
now.
Yep.
Wow.
Wiggins.
And they don't even have
Nope.
they don't even have my boy back here.
Kuminga, like,
Thompson.
they got a young athletic like, bro.
Yeah.
They don't even got Clay back.
Yeah,
Or
they don't have Clay back.
Wiseman.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, bro, they are looking really good.
Yeah.
Draymond running the show for the most part. Like they're
as the
really
enforcer.
good. Yeah,
As the enforcer.
yeah.
But
They look like Golden State of old.
The
to be
Wizards are
honest.
great. Come
They
to
are.
find out, or they're pretty solid
They
right now.
play
It's still
great
early.
team ball.
They've been playing really good ball.
and they know who the guy is.
The
That
Bitcoin,
helps.
Mr. Bitcoin,
That's it.
Mr.
Give me my
Bitcoin is
money
out
in
there
Bitcoins,
balling,
baby.
bro.
Hey, that's the formula. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta have that. Like,
Yeah, bro. And so Wizards surprising everybody. Quietly, the Bucks suck. How good is PJ?
Struggling.
How good is PJ Tucker? Because he went to Miami, and the Bucks are horrible now.
it's crazy. PJ's he's a Draymond of
Yeah?
sorts. Like, yeah,
Was he that
he's
much?
a culture guy. Like that mentality, like his mentality. Those guys that have that mentality, you have to have that guy because that is championship mentality. Like you got to because when it's tight, it's tough, the pressure's on. That kind of guy
Yeah,
goes and messes up whoever the best guy on the other squad is.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
I'm just going.
That's what he did to Durant.
I'm just gonna get it.
That's what he did to Durant.
That's exactly what he
Him
did
and
to
Durant are
Durant.
friends.
Right.
And
Friends.
in
He
his
was
face
in
right
the
here.
whole
He's like,
time.
you ain't gonna do nothing.
Bouncing noses.
You're not doing nothing, Durant. Swing on me. You're not gonna do it. Yeah, bro. No, that's
No, you gotta have that guy.
Yeah.
And that,
that shows how
That's impact.
big
It
of
matters a lot.
Yeah, how great of an impact he made on that team. It's weird, bro.
It's weird, but
the Greek Freak is still there, but they only got 6 wins this year.
part of the formula.
It's kind of
man.
wild, man. And this weekend we got a big boxing match, man. Terrence
Yep.
Crawford, Sean Porter.
Yep.
Holy cow. Just been waiting to see Terrence fight anybody here for like 2 years. But it's going to be a good fight, man. Sean Porter, Earl beat him last, and Sean gave him a good fight.
Yep.
Sean's like that guy that, all right, if you're really, really good, we're going to put him in here for a test.
Mm.
Yeah, he's the test.
Before
He's like the Apollo
real
Creed to Rocky.
championship. Okay.
Yeah, like he can fight, but we don't expect him to win.
Gotcha.
But you got to beat him
You gotta
to beat him. So, going to be a great fight this weekend, man. A lot of eyes going to be on that match. But got to beat him, man.
Yeah, been the man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So on to my favorite part of the show. Jonas don't like this too much. He's more so into the sports. Yeah,
Worst.
but Tech Talk, baby. Tech Talk. What you got for us this week, Jay?
Just strokes work.
Well, I'll keep it slim since we're running way over.
Are we?
Oh, it's almost 2. Yeah.
Oh,
But
it's all good.
But is it? Because here's the next big thing on the cybersecurity front is hacking time.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my
Do
analog.
tell.
You have to go back to your analog. Well, okay. So
Hacking
so
official time?
hacking
Is that what you're
official
talking about?
time, yeah.
Hmm.
So think about this. Like my watch,
Mhm.
your watch, a lot of people's watches now get their time from the phone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Bluetooth.
Where's your phone
Get this time from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the phone gets its time from some server back at Verizon or AT&T or C-Spire or whatever. Where does that server get its time from?
Right.
Okay. Well, follow that chain all the way back, and there's some atomic clocks from way back that are the official time.
Yeah.
That's the official time. And they broadcast that time on a long wave radio signal. If you ever had one of those clocks that would automatically pick up the time, that's how it does
Yeah.
it. It picks up a radio wave.
Mm.
Well, here's the thing. Turns out that's stupid easy to intercept that signal.
Mm.
Right.
and you can set the time to be whatever you want it to be. All right. So who gives a crap? Well, if you're banking, then when a transaction went through makes a big difference.
Yeah. Stock exchange.
There was what was it? There was a movie not too long. I think it was a Bond movie, but it may have been something else. I think it was Sean Connery.
Okay.
Where there was a big deal. They were going to steal $1 bazillion. It all hinged on stopping the time in between like midnight and midnight 01. And they were going to capture these transactions in between there and send them off to the wrong place.
Somebody planted a seed.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And so that's the kind of thing that you have control over with this at a first glance. But on another level, I mean, we also have a lot of other things. We have power systems that are time sensitive. We have traffic flow control systems and port control systems that are time sensitive.
Yep.
So if you can manipulate that even just a little bit,
yeah.
You don't cause
you can cause you can wreak some havoc.
You can take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it turns out that doing this is just ridiculously easy. Like literally anybody with a couple $100 worth of equipment can set this up, and
wow,
then all you have to have is plan.
Yeah.
And so there's some safeguards built into that down the line,
like internal,
but they're
clocks.
not. Yeah, but there's no coordination to how that's how you would address that.
Yeah.
It's like it's just
if somebody was to hack it,
right. How would you know, or who would like?
But there has to be a limited.
Who do you then go back to
limited
and check
amount
up on?
of points of where you can actually access those networks. There's not a ton of. It's not like
right. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like something
that.
where it's not like something like where we could sit here with a laptop and get into. It's not that kind of a. It's not that kind of a hack. It's actually kind of worse, because even though there's like you might have to be in a certain position relative to what you want to hack, like you don't even have to have a laptop, really. Like you just need something that can broadcast a stronger signal in the direction that you need it to go, and you're going.
No, I mean in terms of a solution.
Oh, in terms
there's
of a
only
solution.
6 hubs that's probably giving off official time, around the world.
Right. Okay.
Greenwich Mean Time.
I don't want to bore everybody completely to death.
But I'm like, all right,
but yeah, this is trippy.
So the way that all of this stuff is based on a protocol called Network Time Protocol, NTP.
Okay.
And it dates back to probably like the 50s. Like it's old. It's been around for a long time. Pretty much unchanged.
Okay.
Which is good in one sense, in that it's fairly robust, but there's no security on it at all. None. Like it's just and so there's hundreds of these time servers. Microsoft has time servers.
Right.
AT&T they all have their time servers. That's fine. Like they can control those, but it all converges back to these atomic clocks. There's a handful, like 5 or so, like there's just a very small number of these atomic clocks that are synchronized around the world that broadcast that signal out.
Yeah.
And everybody else is looking back at those same things. So, kind of like if you were wanting to sabotage the Ravens, right? Like there's a lot of things you could do. Like you could go and
make them come out to the game 2 hours late.
You can make them go, yeah. But like if you you could attack somebody's, like you could steal somebody's shoes, or you could do something to the football. Not that anybody's ever done anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
but if you started with injecting something into the Gatorade before it ever left the factory, like they would never know. Like it would be done and over with by the time anybody figured out what happened.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the position that we're finding ourselves in now. Is like if somebody had the wherewithal to put the plan together of how they're going to exploit this, because that's the part that's missing.
Yeah, what would be the point?
What's the plan?
What's the plan? What's the plan?
And the plan, like you said, would be to make something, make somebody who's supposed to be receiving, $1 million transaction show up 2 seconds late, especially when you start talking about cryptocurrency transactions where there's fewer verifications of the traditional type, where a human person is going to go look and did he sign this thing? Did he sign it over here? Okay, let it go ahead. There's a lot of things that are very tightly based on a time signature. That's where this has to happen and then this has to happen.
Yeah. Basically, create a gap.
And if you're able to create, well, there is in a sense, but a lot of it traces back to a timestamp in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
And so you can inject something in between the spaces if you can create enough of a space, which you're talking seconds, milliseconds. Mm-hmm. But if you can inject something in between there,
we're talking like criminal cases.
Yeah, this would be
right. There was a text message sent at this time and this time, but let me go ahead and inject something in here real quick. Right. We're talking about the difference between somebody being free and somebody being guilty.
Is it?
That's just an example.
Is it something in that regard to say actually at from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock I was here. Right. Here's the proof.
Right.
Yeah. That could be valuable
for sure. Like location, right?
So the thing is,
how they look at
from that time
to
that time.
Yeah, no, actually he was over here.
You can see where his location is.
Well, and so that's another thing. Not to give anybody any terrible ideas, but this would this would require some in depth. Like if you're smart enough to figure out how to do this,
making me think of this.
I think like this. I think like
But all of our GPS equipment is based on time being synchronized.
Part of it. Yeah.
Like if the time isn't synchronized, then the GPS doesn't work right. Mm-hmm. So, now, like I said, if you can figure out how to exploit that, then you don't need me to tell you that it's exploitable.
Right. Yep.
Because that's pretty complicated, but it's there. Yeah. And the thing is, and the scary part about it is that it was so easy for them to overtake that time signal.
Yeah, that's
like
they're thinking on a higher level. Like those, I thought I was ahead of the game. These kids,
and so Greg's got something for us, but I want to share with you one more thing.
Yeah,
a little bit happier than the last one. This past week was 50 years since the first commercially available microprocessor was produced.
In 71.
The first one?
71. November of 71.
Holy cow.
The first commercially available.
Commercial. Who bought it?
It was actually a Japanese company, and I'm drawing a blank on the name.
Mitsubishi.
Should have known.
I'm going with Mitsubishi.
No, but so Intel. This was the Intel 4004 processor.
Yeah.
That you probably never heard of.
Nope.
But you might have had one of the calculators.
It
was basically a pocket calculator. I mean, that was the level of intelligence that was
computing power that
which was a big deal.
My mind was blown.
I remember when the first small you could carry it around in your hand. You could put it in your pocket if you had big pockets.
Right. No doubt.
Calculator that you still had to plug in.
Exactly.
Right, it wasn't batteries.
Right,
You had to plug it in.
So my mind was blown to find out that computers and calculators were job descriptions back in the day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Not a item or instrument.
Right.
There was a person in this company that is known as the computer.
Yep.
There's a person in this company that is the calculator.
Yeah. A computer used to be
and now they're a device. Yeah, that blew my mind, bro.
The computer room used to be a room with a bunch of ladies in it.
Yeah, they were the computers. They were the computers. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Wow,
that's wild.
You talk about that movie about what some of where the gals were doing the NASA stuff.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing story.
Yeah. Oh, the black girls.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't
amazing.
It's a true story.
They were computers.
Yeah. That's exactly. They were
computers.
Science.
Not they were just computers, not even human computers.
And
they were just computers.
Right.
Because these computers didn't exist back then.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, that's what was the one company was the digital computer company because it was
the first
electronic. It was an electronic
version of it.
Because it was an electronic version of it.
That's crazy.
So, Greg, we've been wondering what's been in this.
Box,
What's in the box?
Well,
bro.
This is actually from the new Springfield SOCOM 16 that I bought. I put a Geotech on it with a 3-power magnifier.
Nice.
But I figured it's probably good to carry some cards. And I just want to say that, I spent a lot of money for my kids to get into fishing and hunting, including land and RVs and
Your passions.
My passions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I know that that's how we could connect. And if they had time outside of sports, we would be. So I had to rethink it.
Yeah.
And so, I became assistant coach, softball varsity assistant coach for Parish Episcopal.
Nice.
So that's with my daughter.
Nice.
And I asked her permission.
Okay.
I asked her permission. Is this okay with you? Oh, I'd love that. Okay, good. Well, I had to find something with my son, and that was collecting cards. And the first time I brought a batch home and watched his face light up, I didn't care if we sell a card or whatever. It's just like something that we can talk back and forth on, and he can educate me. That's the only reason I could talk even a little bit about sports. What you guys is because he's schooling me.
I hope you learned something today with us, man.
So I brought some of, not that they're worth a whole lot of money, but I brought some of my favorite cards.
What?
That
Baby Ruth.
Holy cow.
A gold?
Oh.
What?
This is Hank Aaron right here.
That's the
Fun
old
fact.
Hank.
Before the All-Star game,
That's
the Braves
crazy.
won this year. That the Braves won their World Series. Before the All-Star game, they won 44 games. Hank Aaron passed away. After the All-Star game, they won 44 games.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to, when you're doing that, tilt it just a little bit. Oh, Deion Sanders.
The
I
prime.
got that. That's
Prime
awesome.
time, baby. We got
This
Ted
is
Williams
crazy.
right here.
Yeah, that one is one of my favorites.
That
there.
is, Ted. I love Ted.
Yeah.
I love Ted Williams.
It's an
It's a nice
insert
card, too.
remake.
Yeah.
Here's
Insert
Sandy
remake.
Koufax.
That's Ted Williams. That's Sandy
Oh,
Koufax.
yeah, that's
And-
awesome. Oh, this is awesome.
You want
Yeah,
that?
you got him. Yeah. There.
So just a way to
that's
connect with my
awesome.
boy, and so
There
I
it
called.
is. There it is. Ted
Oh,
Williams.
there you go.
It's big
Look
time.
at that.
Look at that. That's a beautiful card right there, bro. Oh, I'm a fan.
Look.
I love. He's one of
Saw
my
the
favorites
rookies.
ever. Yeah, we got the Hank Aaron,
So
man.
you haven't seen
We
these?
got Sandy Koufax, man.
Oh yeah.
How much is that box worth?
The box? You mean just in cards?
Yeah.
Cards.
That Sandy. Look at that Sandy
Yeah,
right there.
I don't know. You'd have to ask my
He
businessman,
had,
my
he
son.
had to bring a Dodger in
Yeah.
here, man. He had to bring a Dodger in the
This is
building.
crazy.
And y'all know who it is.
Yep. Those,
22.
I believe, if I'm calculated right, that
How about them Cowboys?
these are rookie cards.
Emmitt Smith rookie cards right here, man.
Man.
And I called my boy. Here's the biggest thing. I
That's
called
what
my
I'm talking
boy
about.
this morning, asking directions or times, and asking what he wanted as far as basketball players. So here is a LaMelo Ball
That's what he
rookie
wanted?
card.
This is the
LaMelo
old.
rookie, bro.
This is the back then
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani card right here. This is
Nice.
the new school Shohei. Shohei Ohtani. Old
That's
school
his
Babe
guy?
This is Babe Ruth right here, man. That's
The
a
LaMelo
beautiful
guy?
card right there. And I love LaMelo Ball, man. I love LaMelo Ball. I think he's the future of basketball.
It's yours.
I told
Put
you all
it
that.
away. It'll,
Oh, what?
no, I'm giving it to you.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, we got to do a swap now, bro. I gotta give you
Nice.
something.
No,
I gotta give you
it's
something,
been an
man.
honor being on this show with you
Nice.
guys, and I just
Oh,
great.
man. Greg. Yeah, bro.
Respect.
I definitely
Love
appreciate
Melo.
you coming on, man.
Appreciate it.
thank you for
That
having me.
That's
story,
big
bro,
time.
like that was a different dynamic that we needed on this show, man. I love it. I appreciate you coming, man.
Thank you.
Looking forward to chopping it up more with you, bro.
Thank you.
You
Can I
enjoyed
give a
yourself?
shout out real quick?
Absolutely, man. Please
To
do.
the two-time state champion Parish Panthers playing at the Star this weekend.
Okay.
Hoping for a three-peat
Let's
in
go.
TAP 6, and my boy's going to be playing. He's the backup quarterback, and they've got a bunch of good boys.
Hey,
that are-
Ben, what's up? Shout out Big Ben. That's my boy right there. That's my shortstop, Dallas Tigers, baby. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
he'll
We're
love
going to
that.
kick that out, man. That's my guy, man. Hey, did he cut the mullet?
He did.
He cut the mullet?
No. He took the blonde away.
No, man, cut
Yeah.
the Don't do it. It's all good. It's all good, man. I still love you, bro. I
that's cool.
still love you, man. Hey, appreciate y'all watching today, man. Greg, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
sharing your
having
You have
story.
a
Appreciate it,
website
bro.
too,
Very
right?
powerful.
I do. As far as the book availability,
Yes.
I only that was the elevator pitch.
Yes.
Wild Awakening, Barnes and Nobles, all the places you can buy books. That's the best way to get it.
Got you.
Right.
Hey, y'all go grab that book, man. Crazy story, man, and that's only a tidbit of it right there, man. Go get the rest of it. Great Awakening, like you said, Barnes and Noble website. What's your website?
It is.
Or did you want to share that? It's all good.
It's under construction right now. I'm having it redone.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, but I will tell you that you will not be sorry in reading that book. And it's audiobook, it's ebook, it's hardback, it's paperback, Amazon. I mean, you can be here tomorrow.
Yeah, silverback. Hey.
Read a book, man.
Hey, 88, baby, gotta go on this note, man. How about them Cowboys?
Good for your brain.
Go
We'll see
Cowboys.
y'all next Wednesday, man, just before Thanksgiving. It's gonna be a great show. We doing a show next Wednesday? We didn't talk about it.
No, it's Thanksgiving week.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're gonna take next week off. Thanksgiving.
We're
Hey,
chilling.
I'm gonna throw something up for you to watch.
He gonna
though,
throw
man.
some Cowboys on.
Might throw some greatest hits. Might put something together for the newest greatest hits for y'all to check out, man. We've had some great shows. If you've missed them, man, go check them out. You don't have to watch the live show only. We are at youtube.com/c/Noonish. Go subscribe, like. What's the other one?
That's it.
Yeah, subscribe, like, share, all that, man. Do it today,
tell your
man.
Mama, tell your friends.
Tell your
That's
mama and
right.
your friends. We'll see y'all next week. No Shave November in the house.
That's where we at. Jeez. Nicely done.
Yeah, man. That's
Awesome.
amazing.